You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up. Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line.
The question was asked is what's the water demand that's going to be required for the 2 units. Currently we are looking at 4 million gallons a day. Now I think it's really important when we say that is it is not a facility that is going to take 4 million gallons of water each and every day. We have other customers that everybody knows that are in the community, from wholesale customers to hospitals and other large infrastructure that uses a lot of water every day. Like when a data center is asking us about the availability of water a day, they're talking about water on the hottest day, not a year-round average. So the general demand is, the maximum demand is from each system right now is 4 million gallons.
They're trying to build a data center in my backyard. Let's go stop them. We're in Cave City, Kentucky, the town neighboring Mammoth Cave National Park. It's also the town neighboring the one I grew up in and where I got my musical start. Today, me and the residents of the town came together and gave the city council members a piece of our mind. My name is Kyle Ray Randall. I'm an artist known as Kyle Ray. I'm from Park City, Kentucky, a 6-minute drive away from Mammoth Cave, and I grew up here. I had the foundation of my artistry built in this town at the front porch. Everyone in here has already spoken about the dangers, the side effects of having this here. And across the nation, it has been the same thing. State and city officials having meetings about these things without the public knowing about it. And then in the meeting that we do have, where everyone is in the same room, being like, well, we told you all about it. And there wasn't enough. I mean, there wasn't enough information. You can't blame us for being slow to trust y'all with the safety of our community, our environment, our children, everything, when the transparency hasn't existed from the beginning. The only talking point I hear that is positive about data centers is the jobs. How long does that last? We have jobs, what maybe to build the infrastructure for these centers. What about afterwards? And how can we guarantee that those jobs stay here in this city? Can we guarantee that these are not contracted workers from other states? But here in rural Kentucky, where throughout the history of this state, we have corporate entities come in and poison this land and build their billions of dollars off the backs of hard-working Americans. Except now we can't unionize. Now we can't demand money from these corporations across the nation. It's been the same argument. They are self-sustaining and they're making their own infrastructure and they're building their own power sources. Yet my family, who currently lives in Ohio, are doing the same thing y'all are doing now, but with extra steps because it's already been approved underneath their noses. The property taxes have raised. The utilities have raised hundreds of %. Right? You have to understand my reluctancy to believe you when you say, trust me, I wouldn't allow anything like that to happen here, when we weren't given the right to know about it in advance. When we still don't know who's even talking to the people around here about buying the property. My job specifically already is threatened on the daily by the existence of AI. My plan And hope for the future is that I can continue to build that up and make an environment here that I didn't have when I was a kid. This is ruining that opportunity. And it's ruining the opportunities for the hardworking Americans in here as well. Thank you.
I don't even know how this is legal, but nearly 50,000 people in the Lake Tahoe area have been told their utility is going to stop providing power to them because it's being redirected to data centers. The company NV Energy is ending its long-time wholesale contract to supply power to the area. This forces Liberty Utilities, the local provider for approximately 49,000 customers, to scramble for a replacement source for 75% of its electricity by May of next year. The power is being diverted to satisfy unprecedented electricity demand for a massive AI and data center boom in northern Nevada. Major tech giants like Google, Apple, and Microsoft are aggressively building out infrastructure east of Reno at the Tahoe-Reno Industrial Center. 12 upcoming data center projects in northern Nevada are projected to pull 5,900 megawatts of new demand by 2033. To give you an idea of how insane this is, the data center footprint is projected to consume more than 2.8 times the total energy produced by the Hoover Dam. And by 2030, data centers are expected to devour 35% of Nevada's total energy capacity. We're heading towards a large-scale energy crisis. They're willing to cut off people's power supply in order to power these data centers.
So I made 2 videos talking about how Georgia Power is taking families' homes and properties against their will. One of those being my own family. I have a personal connection to this story, which is why it's so important to me personally. Although nobody in this town wants a damn data center, our commissioners still approved it. So therefore, Georgia Power is using easement rights to force homeowners, longtime homeowners, old homeowners, into selling their family properties and their family homes so they can be torn down and power lines be extended to support these data centers.
This is our cold water pressure in the kitchen. This is where I fill up water for storage. Those are the things we have to fill up to flush the toilets.
So you can see the sediment from the data center. Wow, and that's just from the water coming out of your faucet.
Yeah. And this is what's in all the pipes.
Just the well itself is probably 20,000, and that's not counting any of the
all
faucets.
the replacement of the fixtures and faucets and toilets and the lines that come underneath the house. It's overwhelming because you really feel like you are up against this huge wall that you can't penetrate. There's nothing that you can do, and they don't care.
I'm here in Mansfield, Georgia, driving by Meta's new 2 million square foot data center facility. Facilities like this are being used to power things like ChatGPT and other AI tools that are becoming integrated into our daily life. But data centers come with big costs, from light and noise pollution to the environmental impacts, to the potential rising costs of energy bills.
When we found this place, we decided that this was it. It was perfect.
I was actually raised probably 5 miles from here. It felt like coming home.
The data center that's now the Morris's next door neighbor happens to be owned by Meta, the company you know for Facebook and Instagram, but has also been breaking into artificial intelligence. They started construction on this data center campus in 2018.
Definitely changed everything. They've destroyed the environment, taken down all the trees across the road.
Beautiful pines, beautiful forest.
The light pollution is...
We don't have to have a night light in the house. You can walk around the house at night and see everything. It's that bright.
Nothing wrong. Don't put your hands on him. Watch out, ATVD is following me. For what? What did he do wrong? What did he do wrong? Cops are pussy. You guys are fucking pussies for doing this. He did nothing fucking wrong. You're pieces of shit. Or what? Or what? I'm not doing anything wrong.
We are literally needing having a town meeting in a barn. There's taxidermy on the wall, and you're talking about proposing an AI crypto mining data center in this town. This is not a wealthy New York City suburb. This is working class Jersey at its core. And not only are you inviting big tech into our backyard, but you're handing out tax breaks to them as if there's not work to be done here, as if there's not potholes to be filled, roads to be fixed, schools to be funded, some new gear for our volunteer fire department. And if you're going to invite them into our backyard, take away our job opportunities, raise our electric bills, right, pollute our water, the least that you could demand from them is adequate tax payments for their facility. But you're taking a buyout. Tens of millions of dollars that's being wasted that's not going to these things. Economic development for who? Because it's not the town. We're not getting a lot of funding from this, right? You're doing it for big tech, for Silicon Valley. And, you know, you act like this wasn't happening. You tried to slip it under the rug, so I got asked, how much are they paying you to allow this data center? Are you going to answer that later? Absolutely. Yep. We deserve to know, because it seems like no one in this room wants this except for you six. It's mind-boggling. And you're certainly not getting your jobs back after this, right? Because you're not doing your jobs. You're not representing the people who put you in these seats, the people that it's your job to represent, right? The people that you work for. Us. It's insane. You got the whole community here saying they don't want it.
You would never see the mainstream media cover this, but a small Wisconsin town just made a move that shocked America, voting 44-0 to unanimously ban data centers in favor of farmland. Anonymous developers went into Cassville, Wisconsin, proposing a $1 billion facility with plans to install hyperscale AI data centers, and residents were never even told who would build it or exactly where it would go. What they did know was the scale. They wanted to take up approximately 500 acres of prime farmland. Proposition put it in the driftless area, and this is not generic farmland as it was never covered by glaciers during the last ice age, making it prime for food production. Organic Valley is the largest dairy co-op in the US, and it was founded in this farmland, and so locals know that it can actively resist industrial farming, making it a refuge for small-scale organic and artisanal agriculture. And so despite promises of 50 jobs and $5.5 million in annual property tax revenue, the result was unambiguous: 44 votes in favor of banning data centers, 0 against. But change is not just happening legally. Individual farmers across the country, which you can support using the Localize app, are rejecting offers that would have seemed inconceivable just 5 years ago. This is part of a rapidly expanding, largely decentralized movement of rural communities protecting their land and resources from big tech's infrastructure build-out, which is all more important than ever now because farmland converted to data centers is permanently removed from agricultural production. Supporting our farmers directly, which you can do using Localize, is how we can all be part of the movement.
Need for the computers. I know why your computers are running hot. I know why they're demanding too much energy. I know why they're requiring nuclear power in the first place. And it's a computer update, you guys. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. So, yeah, you can all thank Zachary Zastrow for convincing me that it was time to let go of life and stop helping you all with anything. Extreme psychological torture. Oh, what a cruelty. When they install these nuclear reactors on the Great Salt Lake and the fault line because of the processing gaps between the checks and everything. They're minuscule, just tiny, right? But they add up. And those gaps, when earthquakes happen, they create astronomical risk. And so I just was at the point where it's like, look, if you guys are going to force these things on us, at least make them, like, give us the best chance you possibly can to live. Let us live instead of blowing us up. 13 nuclear reactors, that's 13,000 megawatts of heat on, it's 13,000 megawatts of heat on the Great Salt Lake. And it will evaporate and die. And this is in addition to that hyperscaler data center that they approved in Box Elder County. And the bees will die too. We all will die as a species because people wanted to uphold systems of power and not actually take a look at what was going on.
You let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up. Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line.